Hi, it's Jan Johnson, and thank you so much for tuning in. I'm really glad that you did. And today, the subject I want to talk about is that as you are going about as an entrepreneur, and as I'm always talking about, telling your stories, relating to people, and becoming relatable, I want you to remember that this is just pure marketing. Learning how to be yourself and be the ultimate self and truly be you and be natural at it is marketing at its highest capacity, I think. And so I want you to consider that when you're thinking of learning how to tell a story. It's not just learning how to tell a story. It's learning how to market yourself by relaying it through a story. Times are changing so rapidly, and things have changed in how marketing and everything occurs. You know, we used to think of the news as the news being broadcast, and that's casting this wide net out there and sharing the news. But really now, with everything so available on the internet, you want to think of drawing that net in and really differentiating yourself and making yourself be someone that stands out as a unique person, that more people that have a lot of the same characteristics as you will begin to follow you. And when they do, that will become almost like a cult-like following. I heard an actress talking about this not long ago, and she was in a sitcom, and she was talking about how it used to be when there were only a few channels, and people landed on a certain weekly show that your ratings were determined by the millions and millions and millions of viewers that that show had. But now with so many hundreds and hundreds of cable channels and different channels out there, then a viewership of, you know, a few million, for example, would be considered a success now. But those few million viewers are almost cult-like in their followership. They talk about it, they get online, they won't miss a show, they get into the characters. Therefore, these stories themselves have to be better if they're going to attain and retain their clientele and their viewership. It's the same with you. You have to get really good at what you're doing, and the way you get really good at what you're doing is having it be natural to you. And so you want to consider like creating a cult-like following for you. Now, I don't mean creating a cult, and I might regret kind of using that term, but a cult-like following where people like you, they forward you, they tweet you and they retweet you because they're into what you're saying and they know it applies to a friend and something that they're going through. So that's what you're doing when you're pulling together the story about you. And I think of this in terms of, from another perspective, you know, regular storefront business. If you have ever heard of Trader Joe's, we never had a Trader Joe's. I live in Boulder, Colorado. We didn't have a Trader Joe's in Boulder, Colorado. I had never been in one. A few months ago in California, I went in one, and it was after one had just come here to Boulder, but I hadn't been in it yet. But I had, over the years, several people say, "Oh, do you have a Trader Joe's? Have you ever been to a Trader Joe's?" And I thought, what's the big fuss about Trader Joe's? But now that I've been there, I see that Trader Joe's creates kind of a cult-like following around their products because they have a story around each one of them. The value of the products, what it does, and people buy into that story of their products, and they have unique products, and it creates this following with that store. And so think of yourself that way. You're an entrepreneur, you're creating a niche, you are unique, even if you're with a company that's network marketing, for instance, and you are selling the same products every other rep in your business, you're creating a niche around you for that product. If you're an online marketer, or if you're a storefront, you have a niche that you're creating. So make your stories be what you're interested in and make them real interesting to other people. I hope this video helped you, and if it did, please comment and share. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm really glad that you did. Jan, thejanjohnson.com. Have a great day.